Okay, so this actually, you're probably going to notice there's a few different things wrong with this. While I am wearing the same shirt and the same hat as the other videos, the lighting's different, my hair's different. This is about a week later, but it's because the original file was lost. I didn't realize that until just now. But this has to go up tomorrow, so I got to get this done. PlayStation's, Sony's conference. I have a little bit to talk about with this one. This one's actually going to probably be the longest of the reaction video. Well, other than Nintendo's. Because Nintendo's, you'll get the full video for that one. The full 40-minute. Well, not you won't get all 40 minutes of it, but I'm going to be like my reactions during the 40 minutes, not after the fact with Nintendo's. But anyways, so Sony's conference. They showed off some pretty cool stuff at the beginning. They showed Destiny, but we all know that's coming. Yeah, it's there. Cool. Don't really care about seeing that at E3, to be honest. Then there was the Order 1886. That, now that I've seen gameplay for it, I'm actually a little bit excited for it. I have a really bad history with Ready at Dawn, so wasn't really excited for it in that regard, but it actually looked really cool. And then Little Big, no, sorry. First they showed Infamous First Light, which is a DLC for Second Son. You actually get to play as a female conduit this time. That's really, really cool. But better than that, also it's standalone DLC, but better than that was Little Big Planet 3. That came out. It's got this awesome new co-op mode going on. It's another Little Big Planet game. How can you not be excited for that? Those games are awesome. And, freak, what else did they talk about? Sony started out, I'll just say this, they started out really strong. Really strong. Yeah, that's right. Next they had, okay, yeah, that's right. So a new Miyazaki game called Bloodborne. This is like a spiritual successor to Demon Souls, so it's going to be exclusive to the PlayStation 4. It looks really, really cool. They had a couple other showings that were really cool. Then they started getting into the numbers thing. They brought on their new guy that replaced Jack Tretton. He was pretty boring. All he did was talk about numbers, stuff we don't want to hear. Sony went back to doing that crap again. Didn't like that. But they started out strong, so it was passable. Then they started showing freaking remasters and reboots. Grand Theft Auto 5 and Last of Us for PS4. Wasting our time with that. Didn't care for it. Oh, that's right. They also showed this game called No Man's Sky. Now that game, even though all they showed, it didn't really show anything. It was just a bunch of pre-rendered cinematic footage. The art style and everything about it, I'm very intrigued on what that's actually going to be. It looks like an open world exploration game, more like open galaxy. It looks really interesting, so I'm excited to see what that's going to turn out to be. So they talked about Last of Us. They talked about Little Big Planet. Those were two of the four things I really wanted out of this conference. The other two being Last Guardian and Uncharted. Very last thing they showed. So it's got to be one of those two, right? Well, everyone already knows. It wasn't The Last Guardian. Uncharted was the last thing they showed. And by the way, I have to say that trailer they showed for Uncharted is literally the best looking thing I have seen in gaming ever. Just the shot of his face, and you can see the beads of sweat and, the moisture and the little fly on his face and buzzing around. My goodness, that is gorgeous. Like, it was the best looking thing at E3. Hands down. Graphic wise, the best. Plus, it's Uncharted. Awesome. However, it does sound like it might be the last Uncharted. So that's a little bit disappointing, if that's the case. But, oh well, if Druckmann's taking it over, he's probably going to want to kill off the series and then start on his own projects because, he didn't start Uncharted. I don't think he really wants to hold its hand forever. He wants to take Naughty Dog into different places and stuff like that. But anyways, or Druckmann and Straley, I suppose. That's both of those guys. It's not just Druckmann. But either way, no Last Guardian. However, we have received news later that the reason The Last Guardian wasn't there is specifically because The Last Guardian is not 100% complete. It's not going to be shown until it's done. They don't want to make the same mistake they made last time, so that's why it's not there, yada, 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 whatever. I expect to hear some interesting details about it in the next year. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be revealed this year. But I do expect that we'll get some really, like a very, I guess, detailed statement on, whether it's very close to completion or something like that, or some big milestone in it has been hit. before the end of the year, and oh, we are ready to release it very soon. Something like that. I don't expect it necessarily a reveal this year, but something to that effect. And that was really the thing I was hoping for above all else. Sony did good. They were solid. They showed a lot of cool games. They showed a lot of non-exclusives though, which disappointed me, and they showed a lot of remasters. Oh, that's right. They showed Grim Fandango remastered. That is exciting. I'm really excited to see Grim Fandango for the PS4 because those games are so good. Frickin' Tim Schafer, you are the best. Um, yeah, it was started out great, and it went to good, and then it went to crap, and then it went back up to okay, and then Uncharted 4 was a great end, but not quite the end I was hoping for, and I know a lot of other people were hoping for, although we did all know there was something Uncharted that was going to be shown. Just not a lot, because Uncharted really isn't that far along, so it's not like you could expect too much. But anyways, that's the Sony conference. I give it the same score I gave the Microsoft conference, an 8 out of 10. Because while it was a solid conference, it didn't really. I mean, it was solid. That's all I can say. It was just solid. It wasn't amazing, and it wasn't. There was cool stuff for sure, but then there was other things that suck. Honestly, though, if I were to weigh it between Microsoft's and Sony's conferences, even though I gave them both an 8 out of 10, because that's on a 10-point scale, I don't want to give Sony a 7 because that feels like it drops it too much, and I don't want to give Microsoft a 9 because that feels like it raises it too much. So I'm going to give the edge to Microsoft's conference, Sony's conference slightly below it, but they're both 8s on a out of 10 scale. So as of right now, as far as these videos are concerned, Microsoft is winning E3. But how did Nintendo do? You will find out tomorrow.